We are back. The phone overheated earlier. I caught it pretty quickly, I think, so that's cool. I just ate some chicken and biscuits. Did some push-ups, had a bunch of water. I had a hot coffee, but it's cold by now. I didn't drink any of it when it was hot, too bad, but I was taking care of some business, so there you go. Welcome back, all the people that have already watched my stream over the past few days, and welcome to the new viewers. We are headed to Atlanta. We're currently smack dab in the middle of Virginia State in the United States. And we'll be driving for about the next 3 or 4 hours. So I hope you enjoy. Everyone leaving comments and saying hello, thank you. I won't be able to respond or read them while I'm driving, but I will check them out later on a quick restroom or fuel break, and I'll read all of them tonight when I get in bed. I'll get an idea of what you guys want to know and see and what you think about the stream. But thank you for watching. Let me know where you're all watching from. I looked at some of the info that YouTube gave me over the last few days. About half of you are watching from the United States. A good bit of you are watching from Germany and the Netherlands and Spain and Britain. I am part German, so maybe that's why you're watching. German girls. Oh wow. Like 16, 17 months ago, I sailed from Panama to Florida. I was the only American on the sailboat, and we sailed from Panama to Florida. The first few days of that trip were rough. It might be the Gulf of Mexico, but it feels like the ocean. It feels like the ocean. So that was awesome. Just those German girls were just awesome. They were beautiful and smart and kind of hard. What I mean by hard is just like they had a hard exterior. But once they just chilled out and we swam and drank and laid out on the deck and charted the course of the boat, it was pretty awesome. I don't recommend going on a cruise, like a cruise ship, but I do very much recommend taking a sailing trip somewhere. And you might say, well, that's like for the rich and things like that. Sailing trips are actually a lot of the time cheaper than cruise ships because there's not as many amenities. So they're cheaper a lot of the time, unless you're like on a really nice sailing boat, but I was not on a really nice boat. I was on a standard boat, and it was tough, it was rough, but it was awesome. And I mean, who wouldn't want to be sailing around the Gulf with a bunch of German girls and Danish girls, and I think there was 2 guys from the Netherlands, and there was 2 crew members from Panama, but a lot of us knew how to sail, so that helps. And I mean, that keeps the price down too, because you're just paying for like the boat and supplies and partly the crew. We did hire a chef, and I didn't know any of these people. If you're wondering, I didn't know any of these people before the trip. I found it online and just went with it. I found it online, and I think it was like 2.5 days later when I got on the boat. Totally just bang bang. It was a cash transaction, so that was cool. Like I didn't like, even though I found online, like people were like, well, it could have been a scam. The thing is, they didn't ask for any money before I actually got on the boat. Like I paid my share when I like stepped onto the boat. So I mean, you can't beat that. Down hard today in Virginia, isn't it? Wow. I have to get some new glasses. I got them tightened up the other day, or a few weeks ago now, and they also cleaned them. And I had a coating on there already, like a special coating for like all types of like glare and like non-fog and all I couldn't even tell you all the reasons they had the coating. But whatever they used to clean my glasses took the coating off. So now my glasses are functioning like worse off than they would if they were just regular glasses, because like the coating is like kind of on but kind of not, and they're fogging up in like different places, and it's not good. So I have to get some new glasses. I do plan on getting eye surgery in the next year, so that'll be great. I won't have to wear glasses anymore, and I can just put on my Ray-Bans and not worry about being blind. I've had transition lenses in the past. I don't have any right now. Just they broke or I lost them, or a little bit of both. So I'm just going raw. My eyes are raw to the sun. Obviously, I have a hat on and I have the sun visor down, but I'd much rather have a nice pair of glasses on, just to see a little better, protect my eyes from the sun, etc. Since I'm always out here, always driving. But yeah. Bunch of construction materials that we are bringing to Atlanta. We're going a little south of Atlanta, but basically Atlanta. And tomorrow, if you catch the stream, not sure what time yet. I'll have a better idea later on today. But again, I won't know the exact time just because it's hard to leave at the exact time every day that I might want to, because things come up in my personal life. I have to take care of something, or I want to sleep more, or I want to exercise, or I found a nice restaurant to eat at, or I might be on the phone, reading a book, practicing the guitar, or something like that. So said, we're in the smack dab in the middle of Virginia. We are fat. We are very fat today. We weigh in at 79,660 pounds. That is right below the legal limit. Legally, I am allowed to weigh no more than 80,000 pounds, and I weigh 79,660 pounds. So I am loaded to the teeth. Loaded to the teeth. I do have some kettlebells on the truck. I mean, they don't weigh that much, but I mean, every pound, every ounce, every pound counts, but they don't weigh that much. I mean, relatively to what I carry. So I use those when I exercise. So, and I'll talk more about the exercises I do. Today I've just done push-ups. Today I've done 2 sets of 20 push-ups. So getting back into push-ups, I kind of was lax for a few months. I was doing them every day for quite a while, and then I fell off the wagon. That corn looks burnt. That cornfield looks burnt. They did not harvest. Or maybe they weren't able to water or something. That cornfield was burnt. Hope you guys are enjoying this beautiful day in Virginia. I have some warm thoughts for those people in Afghanistan that experienced the earthquake. That is a horrible, scary way to go. I can't imagine what that must have been like. Rest in peace to those people in Afghanistan. That's horrible. I just can't imagine. Especially, well, in any sense, dying in an earthquake is horrible, but in a mountainous region, I would think there might have been some avalanches from those mountains where the earthquake occurred, etc. And it's just horrible. It's weird. Some parts of Virginia feel like the South, and some parts of Virginia feel like the North. And I mean that just by the people and the culture. And it's just interesting to be in the same state and feel very vastly different cultures. The way people relate to you in the U.S. is very different throughout the country, and it's always interesting to see. We all have our biases, even I do. I'm not going to say I'm a saint, but some have a lot more biases than others. I'll say that much, and that goes for every single American I've encountered as I've traveled. Even in the places that you don't think the places you think you might not have a confrontation, or the places you never imagined you'd have some type of confrontation, you do, and it kind of throws you off sometimes, I guess. Lucky my road is empty. The other road is packed, chock full of nuts. Some of these drivers aren't nutty, so chock full of nuts. We are free and clear going south. Free and clear. I hope the phone doesn't overheat again like it did earlier. I will say we got quite a bit of sunlight left in the day. Really radiates that heat. It can get hot in the front of the truck, even though I have the AC blasting, it can get hot. This driving day is probably the most beautiful driving day I've had this year. It's like perfect for the stream. Not every day is gonna look like this. Just so you know, don't expect every day to look like this out here. This is just perfect. Shadows cascading against the pavement. This tunnel of trees. Right in Virginia. Virginia has some great forests and great woods. I've spent a good deal of time in the forest in Virginia, whether on a hike or on a camping trip. And no, those are not the same. Yeah. Tell me what you guys think. Not this one in particular, this one that's coming up, but my next vehicle. My Jeep blew up recently, very recently. My Jeep blew up. It was her time. Engine literally just gone. Anyway, so I'm thinking about getting a Ford Bronco. Tell me what you guys think, and if you think that's a good idea, please tell me what model you think I should get. And I'm dead serious. This is not like, oh, I want you guys to talk about nothing. I'm dead serious. I haven't researched them a lot yet. I just do like the way they look, and I've heard good things about them. I've read a couple articles about them, but not enough to buy one yet. And I wasn't going to buy anything. I don't buy cars until my other car dies, like my Jeep did. So my Jeep died, and luckily I have this truck, so I can go places in the truck and do whatever I need to do. So I have time. Other people do not have the time. They need to get a vehicle right away if their vehicle does. I have time to research and find the exact vehicle that I want and that would fit my lifestyle. So if you guys have some ideas about which Bronco, if you know about Broncos, let me know. I know there's several different options, which is kind of annoying in and of itself. Kind of a purist when it comes to things, but I mean, if you have an idea about some other vehicle, I need some space in the vehicle. So I will be getting another four-legged friend, another dog eventually. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I'll need some space for him or her, and then just like gear for hikes and for like canoe trips and things like that. So an SUV would be preferred. So if you guys have some ideas, throw them out. I don't think I'm going to get another Jeep. I don't know that I'm saying this with much to back it, but I feel like they may have like fell off the ledge in terms of quality over the years. I'm not sure that that's true. Maybe that's not true. Maybe I just don't want another Jeep. Maybe that's why I'm saying that. I mean, maybe Ford Broncos aren't that much better too, so it just sucks. I'd rather not buy a car. I mean, obviously for financial reasons, but also just like, it's just a pain. There's so much that goes into buying a car, and there's so much BS. Even if I pay cash for a used car from someone on Craigslist, there's still pitfalls and still things that I need to navigate when it comes to that. And buying a car is probably like one of the most fraught experiences people have to deal with, I think, in their daily lives. I have used Turo a couple times over the past few weeks. After my Jeep blew up, that's that new like social car rental app. It's kind of like Airbnb but for cars. So you just like rent someone else's car. Now there's actually like there's businesses that it pops up just like Airbnb. There's businesses that buy and just do Airbnbs as a business instead of just people renting out their homes, rooms, or apartments. So there are businesses on Turo as well as people just renting out their car. I think from what I've seen at least, and I could be completely wrong, from what I've seen it is more businesses renting out cars than not people like setting up like little LLCs or Incs and like buying cars and renting them out on Turo. My experience has been pretty good. The last Turo car I rented a few weeks ago smelled really bad. It wasn't like BO. I'm sorry for you. It wasn't like that. It's something else. And I told them, like, I was like a few miles into my drive, and I told them, they were like, oh, come back, we'll give you another car. But the thing is, like, I had a lot to do that day. Like, when I'm off, like, I have a lot to do. So I was like, screw it, it's fine. We're good. And I just went on, but it did have a funky smell that I had to deal with. And they were like, oh, it didn't smell. You know, of course you're going to say it didn't smell, but it smelled. So there are a lot of risks. There are not danger. Well, similar. There are a lot of risks involved with renting with Turo. I don't know if you guys have done it. So most insurances, if not all, I'm going to say most just because I don't know every insurance doesn't cover Turo. Like if you have Geico or State Farm, they won't cover your Turo rental. Like they won't, like even if you have like full coverage under your insurance carrier, and like let's say you fly to LA and you want to rent a car through Turo, your insurance carrier is not going to cover you liability and collision and bodily harm, etc., etc., etc. They're not going to cover you, regardless of what you read on the net. And I like verified this like with Geico, my insurance carrier, like very hard. I talked to like a few reps and like a few people above them, just because I wanted to know like if I was covered. And you're not covered with most insurance companies. Again, it might be all, but I'm going to say most. You're also not covered. You also can't get covered rental coverage on Turo with a major credit card like Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. I talked to them. Can't get coverage. So there is coverage through Turo, which is pretty expensive. It's like $10, $20, $30, $40 a day, which kind of makes like whatever. So there's coverage through Turo, but the thing is there's like high deductibles depending on which plan you get, like sub-basic, basic, premium. I think there's 3. There might be 4 tiers. There might be like super premium. I think there's 3 tiers, like sub-basic, basic, and premium. I just made those terms up, but that should explain what I mean. And they have high deductibles, and it's not like exactly clear like who this coverage is through. Like you're paying for quote-unquote rental coverage for your rental through Turo, but there's not really a lot that tells you like if you'll actually be covered and what's covered. So it's a risk. So if you guys check out Turo, and obviously like I'm not making anything, I'm plugging them, like, especially since I'm telling you it's a risk. But if you do go through Turo, just realize it's a risk. Realize you're not going to get covered by your insurance carrier. You're not going to get covered by your credit cards. And the insurance that Turo offers is expensive, 1, and 2, I'm not sure it's so good. So I feel like it's risky driving Turo cars. I think the chances that I get in an accident in a Turo car are really low. That's not necessarily responsible, but since I don't have my Jeep, it's just like I need a car really quick sometimes. And it's been fantastic because it's so convenient. Whereas with like Hertz and like what's the other one, Avis or whatever, the big rental companies, it's kind of a pain sometimes to get the car because they're like so far away, or yeah. Virginia Army National Guard. Okay, get it. I will point out fun things. That's so fun. I'll point out whatever I think is interesting on the road. Billboards are kind of fun sometimes. All kinds of billboards. The ones that advertise, the religious billboards, the billboards advertising sex shops. There was a. I'm not trying to really talk about this, but it did say things that are interesting. Yesterday, on yesterday's stream, we passed by an XXX shop, and it was called. What was it called? Bend Over Romantic Spot. Someone, if you were watching last night, tell everyone in the comments. It was like Bend Over, BENDOVER. They had it as one word, and then it was like Bend Over Romantic Shop or something, or spot or something like that. So hey, those are the small businesses that have made it through the internet taking over commerce. So, applause to them. So when I'm heavy out here on the road, the wind doesn't affect me as much as it might when I'm light. The wind will push me around because I'm light and I'm so big. If I'm light, the wind will push me around. If the wind is heavy, it's strong. But when I'm heavy, the wind is a lot less likely to push me around. So I'd rather be heavy pretty much most of the time. You can encounter wind anywhere, and wind can really slow down a trip. And I've had to stop for a day or two at times because the wind is so bad that I literally could not drive safely. So yeah, wind is no es bueno. Children's lullaby, I was singing, or some kind of Gregorian chant. In English. Okay, we're about to head dead south on the 95, dead south. Get real dirty south. Dead south. Dead south, I'll tell you what. 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 is either the most crowded interstate in America or the second most like crowded, most used, I guess I could say. The 95 is either the most used interstate in America or the second most used interstate in America, and I would say it is definitely between the I-95 and the I-5. So the I-95 goes down the East Coast, straight down the East Coast, and the I-5 goes down the West Coast, Washington through Seattle, and then most of the I-5 is in California. So the way our interstate system works, the roads ending in a 5 and a odd number are going to be north to south, south to north. The roads ending in an even number or a 0, and it's not always a 0. The roads ending in an even number or a 0 are going to be going east to west, west to east. So, for example, like from south to north, I'm going to name the roads that go east, west, west, east. Now, there's a little known road that's below the 10 even. It's called the 8. And that's only in a section of the U.S. It's only in Arizona and California. The 8. I'm pretty sure it's not in New Mexico. Pretty sure. And then there's a 10, the 20, the 30, the 40, the 50. I think there's a 60. It's not that well used. There might not be a 60. I'm pretty sure there's a 60, but it's not that frequented. The 70, 80, 90. And then in terms of the ones that go north, south, south, north, there's the 5 in California. There's the 15 that goes through California and Nevada and some of Utah and Idaho and Montana. Does it go through Montana? I think so. And then there is the 25. The 25 goes from New Mexico through Colorado into Wyoming and then up into Montana. Then there's the 35. I'm doing pretty good, right? Then there's the 35. The 35 goes from Texas. And this is north, south, south, north. Remember, the 35 goes from Texas to Oklahoma to Kansas to I think it touches Missouri for a little bit, but mainly it goes like into Iowa and then up into might not go into Iowa. If it doesn't go into Iowa, I think it touches Iowa and then goes into Illinois, and then I think it terminates in Illinois. I do not think it goes into Minnesota. I've spent time up in Minnesota and things like that, but not as much time as I spent in other places. Then, is there a 45? I think there's maybe a 45. There may not be a 45. There's definitely, I think there is, but it's not frequented, just like I was talking about the 60. 55, that's pretty major. 65, like the 45, I think exists, is not that frequented. There's a 75, that goes through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. And I think I think the 75 actually turns into the 81 in like northern North Carolina. That's funny, northern North Carolina or Virginia, and then that goes up through Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and I think that's it for the 81. Oh, yeah, I think that's it. I don't think it goes into New York. I don't think there's an 85, and if there is, it's not frequented. And then the 95, which we're on, goes from Florida all the way up until at least New Hampshire. So it goes Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Oh, sorry. Rhode Island is first. Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and I'm not sure if it goes to Maine. So Maine is the only state in the lower 48 I haven't been to, and I vowed not to go there in a car or a truck. When I do go to Maine, I will be on my bicycle or on foot on the Appalachian Trail. Not my bike on the Appalachian Trail, but just like, because I plan on riding my bike across America, and like, there's not gonna, I want to go into Maine on my own power, either on foot on the AT or on my bicycle when I ride across the U.S. But hello again, everyone. If you're new to the stream, if you're new to the channel, and you like the stream, remember to subscribe so you're notified when there's a new stream going. These will not be scheduled. They will be most every day. Definitely be out here tomorrow. The next day I will be taking a break. I'll be out here the day after that, much later in the day, and then the days after that, for at least the next week to 10 days, I'll be out here every day until I take a longer break. It's been a little bit since I've taken a long break, so in about 8, 9, 10 days, I'm going to take a longer break. So the stream will be off then. I don't think it'll be too interesting if I'm not doing what I'm doing right now. Streaming, so unless I see something really interesting, I might do some kind of stream. But yeah, I also want to keep it like one thing, not like several dozen things. Did we enter North Carolina? Did someone see the sign? I think we're either in North Carolina. I'm in so many states all the time. Sometimes I don't know what state I'm in. A lot of times I don't know what state I'm in. I'm not kidding. That's not I'm not trying to be funny. I always think I'm in like the last state or the next state. Not always, but a lot of the time people are like, where are you? And I'm like, Kansas. And I'm like in Oklahoma. Or I'm like Kansas. And I'm in like West Virginia. Or I'm like Idaho, and I'm like in Montana. I'm like, yeah, so you got the drift. And then I like second guess myself. have entered North Carolina. Yes, 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 we are now in North Carolina, but we aren't just in the north of North Carolina. I was just saying the north of North Carolina when I was talking about those interstates, so that's fun. Here we are in North Carolina. Here's the sign. We weren't in North Carolina. See what I mean? Oh, see, I wasn't even joking. It's North Carolina. Yes, yes, yes. Let's celebrate. We just entered North Carolina. We'll set up an email soon so that you guys can ask questions and send anything you want to that email. I haven't done that yet. There's a few more things I gotta set up for the channel. I really wanted to see whether people would like it first before I did a lot for the channel. So over the next 10 days, maybe 20 days is really when I'm gonna gauge on how much I'm gonna do concerning the channel. I want this to be big, but it might not be big. I think it could be big, but I'm not sure. Getting the right amount of data at the right amount of time in the right location is what main problem I'm going to come up against. So physics is our main problem, which makes sense as we are on the truck and there's a lot of motion and force involved. But no, we have used well over 300 gigabytes of data in the first 2.5 days of the stream. So we're talking about 3 to 5 terabytes of data a month. And it's data is not going to be that much of a problem. It's going to be actually acquiring that data in the right place at the right time, at the right speeds. So if this gets popular, I'm going to look into satellite data, but that's going to be a whole learning process for me. It's not like hooking up a satellite to your home, because there's a lot of back-end stuff that I'm going to have to figure out, like configuring that satellite data package with my phone so that they're synced, and it's stuff I haven't done before. I know I can figure it out, but I'm waiting to see just how popular we become before we go nuts with the logistics. Earlier today, took the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel from Northern Virginia on the coast to Virginia Beach. So if you want to check out that stream, that's the last stream on the channel. It happens like 30, 40 minutes into the stream, where we get to go over the bridge, into the tunnel, over the bridge, into the tunnel, and over the bridge again. I used to live in Virginia Beach, so Virginia does hold a special spot in my heart. And we had fun on that stream, so check it out if you want later on. Remember, when you go to streams on someone's YouTube channel, whether it be mine or someone else's, you got to look under live for the streams, for the past streams, instead of in the video section. On my channel, I think it might be easier on my channel, since I don't have any regular videos. I just have streams. The old videos I had on this channel that were uploaded, I made those private only because I didn't want that to interfere with what is going to be the content of this channel now, which is what we're doing, driving all over America together. probably in the drive tomorrow, or maybe today. I'm not sure. Oh, I forget where I said I was going to land. I think it's going to be tomorrow. It could be the end of the day today. It's either the end of the day today or the beginning of the day tomorrow. We will pass by south of the border. South of the border is like the most popular fireworks, cigarettes, rides, amusements place on the roads in the U.S. It's a fun place. I haven't been there in a while. Actually, that's not true. I stopped a few months ago. It was closed though, so that's why I said that. That's why I don't really remember. I stopped to check it out a few months ago. It was like midnight 30. It was like 12:30, 1 in the morning, and it was closed. So I wasn't able to enjoy the place. But yeah, if you're on the 95 in South Carolina, you will pass by a place called South of the Border. They have all kinds of stuff. Check it out. It is a very popular storied place. It has been around for years and years and years. I think at least 40 or 50 years, possibly 60 years it's been around. Maybe even longer, I'm not sure. It's got a very distinct look to it. It's got like a kind of like olden days feel, kind of like when you see pictures or video of carnivals, like old carnivals or circuses or fair type amusement park places. And they do have rides. They are best known for their fireworks, I believe. Okay, we got a Nissan Rogue, a Kia, a Cadillac, a Toyota. What's this next called? We got a Chevy Tahoe. Those are the last 5. Tell me in the comments what's your favorite car. Tell me in the comments what you drive if you drive a car, if you need a car. I think you should only have a car if you need a car. That's my feelings. I don't drive vehicles that I don't need. Anyway, teach his own, but I don't drive vehicles that I don't need. So if you have a car, tell me in the comments what kind of car you drive. I'll talk about these comments tomorrow, or if we take a break today, I'll talk about some of them after the break. I can't read comments as I'm driving. I will read them on a fuel break or like just a small break to stretch, a stretch break, and then talk about them after the break, or I'll read them. I'll always read all of them tonight, and then I will talk about the comments from yesterday, the next day, or after the break. But tell me what you drive, and then tell me what your dream car is, what you'd love to have. Here we got a BMW X3. So I believe there is X3, X5, X7. So X3 is like the base model BMW SUV. The X series is the SUV. Here we go. What do we got here? We got another Chevy Tahoe. And then ahead of us, of course, we got a Penske truck. Penske is much better than U-Haul. I will fight you on that. I love Penske to move. I've moved many different places. I think I am an expert in which truck you should get. Now, the Penske is awesome. They're reasonably priced. The trucks are just much more powerful. It's just a better, smoother experiences all around. U-Hauls are absolute pieces of crap. Absolute pieces of crap. If you like U-Haul, if you work for U-Haul, I'm sorry, but absolute pieces of crap. And you haven't heard me call anything a piece of crap yet on this channel. So Crap, Penske is the way to go. Look at that color. Who couldn't love that color? Just gorgeous. We haven't passed many people today. This is one of the first times we've passed anyone today. Hello, Penske. Say hi, everyone. If you need a moving truck, go with Penske, I'm telling you. What do we got here? It's a Dodge. What is this? A Dodge? What does that say? Journey? A Dodge Journey? I don't think I've ever heard of that car. Dodge Journey. It's like a little kind of like a crossover between like an SUV and a minivan, which I think is kind of ugly, but you know. If you're gonna get a minivan, get a minivan. If you're gonna get an SUV, get an SUV. I don't know. That's just me. I feel like I've had some bad experiences in Dodges before. I've driven a lot of different vehicles over different times for different reasons. So I've driven all the trucks on the road, literally all the trucks on the road, and I'll tell you why. I told you guys earlier why that's the case. But I've driven all the trucks you see on the road. I'm licensed to drive every single truck on the road, but I've also driven many of the different cars on the road over my lifetime. But that still doesn't make me realize what I should get for my next car. I think buying a car is one of the most stressful things. And I want a car I've never driven. I want a Ford Bronco, and I've never even driven one. So I gotta at least test drive. Well, I definitely gotta test drive one first, but probably buy used. I'd like new, but it's just so silly to buy a new car. Even though I want one, it's just silly. So I gotta go test drive a Ford Bronco before I even think about buying one. But I got time. So like the second to last, or even third to last stream, I don't know, I'm tired, I've been driving, I've been streaming. At the beginning of the stream, check all the streams out later, but at the beginning of the stream, we get a truck wash, which is one of my favorite things out there. And it's just such a calming experience. If you've never been, I'm gonna guess a lot of the people on the stream have not ever been through a truck wash, and it's just a lot of fun. And I like it, it relaxes me. And I think it'll be like a relaxing little. It was an ASMR experience. So if you want ASMR, I think I don't know. Maybe I was the first. Probably not the first. You're never the first. But one of the first people to stream a truck wash. And it was just a really nice thing. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's just like the second to last or third to last stream up on the queue for the channel in the live section. are going 69 miles an hour. Not 96, but 69 miles an hour on the 95 in North Carolina. Headed through North Carolina south to South Carolina into Georgia and hitting Atlanta late tomorrow afternoon, early evening. Plus or minus 3 or 4 hours. That sound said Rocket Swamp. Rocket Swamp. Doesn't sound so fun, I don't think. Rocket Swamp. Let me know in the comments what you guys drive, if you drive, if you need to drive. And also let me know what's your favorite dream car. Your favorite car or your dream car, those could be different. So let me know in the comments. I really am interested to know. We can talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. County, North Carolina. Someone's picnic bench fell off their truck or their car or their SUV. That's a little dangerous, don't you think? You see that broken up in the road? Test, test, test. taking a short break here. Don't necessarily need one right now, but I don't think there's one for a while after this. And I have drank a lot of water and a lot of coffee today, so you will see what a rest stop in Virginia looks like. And I sleep at rest areas a lot, and sometimes it is very peaceful, and sometimes it is stressful, but not very peaceful. Never had necessarily a bad experience at a rest area, besides maybe hearing the highway too loud and just kind of waking up with less hearing than I had before I went to sleep, just because the parking was too close to the highway and it was just too loud. I'll do some more push-ups. I think I will do some more. Maybe I'll do 20 more push-ups. I've done 2 sets of 20 today, so I'm at 40 push-ups for the day. Maybe I'll do 20 more. Maybe I'll do some squats. Maybe I'll do a plank instead of the push-ups. I haven't been doing enough push-ups. I could do another 20 right now, but I haven't been doing enough push-ups to make that maybe necessarily a good idea, because I want to be consistent rather than do these things in spurts. Oh, that was a nice smooth parking job. Not done yet, but no real correction needed. This is what it looks like to park a truck at a rest area. Not all the rest areas are this nice. Some of them are even nicer. Some of them are even nicer. This is pretty nice on its own. These trees and the grass and the gazebo and the picnic tables to eat at. What you guys have to say? Yeah, not much traffic going south for sure. I was going about 69, 70 miles an hour, Richard. Thanks for all the love, all the comments. Oh, you just got back from South Carolina, huh? From Florida. Lot lizards are few and far between, and a lot of times, sometimes they don't even look like lot lizards. You gotta know what they look like. I don't take part in the lot lizard culture, but I have seen them. Yeah, Goose, go ahead and sub. Everyone sub. Everyone that wants to sub. Everyone that wants to comment and tell me about their lives or what's their driving, tell me. Yeah. Give me a thumbs up if you like the videos. What's up, Joyce? Hi. I haven't been to Seattle in months. I've been to Portland a bunch. I love Portland. But I've been to Seattle quite a few times. What's up, Sujit and Ardar? Hope I said that right, Ardar. Hey, Emily, what's up? Alfonso Milligan, what is going on? I do not know Hindi, Sujit. Adriana, hello. Muhammad, what's going on? Oh, looks like you did some bad messages. Curbside recycling, what's going on from the UK? Where in the UK? I have been to London. Not been anywhere else in Britain, but I've been to London. I guess I've technically been other places in Britain since I took the train through the Channel Tunnel to Paris. What's going on, Emmanuel, Fred, Zooks Gamers, Jalen Powell? What's going on? Yeah, we'll talk more about CDL requirements, including English. on the drive, hopefully today, if not today, tomorrow. What's going on, Ben, David, Morgan, and Imam, and yeah, Jalen, and Fred. If you guys are enjoying the stream, I'm going to take a little break, and we'll be back on the road in a couple minutes. Oh, is that a little poem there, Mario? Is that original? Is that an original poem you've written for us? Okay, guys, I'll be back in a few.
guys. You ready? You ready? Hey Lynn, what's going on? I'm having myself a naked strawberry banana smoothie. I get one every 2 trips or so, and it takes me like more than a week to remember I even have it in my fridge. And then when I remember I have it, I drink it. Or close to. So yes, everyone, someone asked the other day if I have a sleeper. I definitely have a sleeper. I definitely sleep in my truck. I've been working. Today is Monday, Labor Day. I've been working 16 days straight, so 16 days of driving straight. I am properly exhausted. I need more than a cuppa, as my friends from the United Kingdom say. I need a good rest. After we get to Atlanta tomorrow, I am taking a good long break. Not too long, but pretty good. That sound you hear is me adjusting the steering wheel. I did not do push-ups on my break. I did squats. I did 15 squats. My legs are a little sore because I did wall balls the other day. If you guys don't know what those are, that's when you squat and throw a medicine ball up at a wall. You throw a medicine ball up a wall as you're coming up from the squat, and then squat as you're catching the ball, and then again and again and again. And I'm a little sore from that from the other day, because I haven't been exercising as much as I should. So yeah. And we are off. Look at all these beautiful trees in Virginia. Oh, North Carolina. I'm sorry, North Carolina. Was that some shade? Me thinking I'm still in Virginia? No, there's some beautiful woods in this part of the country. Underrated. Everyone thinks Washington and Oregon has the most beautiful trees, which is probably, actually, that's probably true, but there's some beautiful trees on the East Coast too. I think a lot of that is the fact that there's some of the oldest trees left in the country are in Washington and California and Oregon, Oregon. How do you say Oregon, Oregon? How do you say Houston or Houston? I used to say, so in New York, Houston Street is Houston Street, even though it's spelled the same as Houston. And Houston, Texas is Houston. That's one of those things that used to confuse me when I was a kid. But anyway, I may be getting a little loopy as I am tired. And like I said, this is my 16th day driving, 16th day working in a row, and I really do dearly need a break. Like I said, that will start tomorrow evening, my break. So we will be out here again tomorrow driving though, so join in. I'd say definitely by 11 or 12 Eastern Standard Time, which would make it like 050600 GMT, right? That's what you say for the standard time for London, right? Or for England or UK, the United Kingdom. You say GMT. So 0506. Oh no, not 0506. Sorry. Sorry, that's completely wrong. 1600, 1700 GMT. So 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon GMT. Sorry, I was off 12 hours. What 64 miles an hour looks like in a truck. That's 4.6. No, 6.4. That's not 4.6. This is what 66 looks like. And we are doing 67 miles an hour right now. Days till fall starts. Are you guys excited?
most of nature, honestly. I love being in the desert too. I've slept in the desert, I have slept on mountaintops, I've slept on the beach. I don't think, you know, I'll tell you one terrain I have not slept in. I have not slept in a rainforest. Anyone here sleep on in a rainforest? Anyone? This car is going really, really slow, and that's not necessarily good. I wonder. They might be going. I'd say they're going about 50, which is like pretty slow on this highway, and it's just dangerous to go slow because it just causes backups. Backups cause accidents, and without the backup, there could be an accident with someone going that slow, to be honest. Picking up in the car volume, or at least clumps of cars, armies of cars. There's a clump of cars that is going to pass me over the next 3 to 4 minutes or so. You'll see a lot of cars streaming by me, even though I'm at the speed limit. I'm going 69, the speed limit 70. These guys are going to be banging right by me. We've got a Honda Civic. Pilot. Looks kind of sexy, that Honda Pilot. I'm not going to front that. It's kind of sexy. We got an Infinity, a G7X janky Infinity. I say janky because the bumper is coming up on the front. We got a Toyota Corolla, New Jersey plates. We got a Toyota, is that a Highlander? Or is that a Honda Accord? Ooh, people are clumping up. No good. We got a Toyota Tacoma. This is the end of the clump right here. And then another Tacoma, another Toyota Tacoma. It was funny, the woman from Seattle earlier, I saw there was someone from Seattle, I don't know if she's still here, but she would be able to tell you guys this. So there's a Tacoma, Washington, which is just south of Seattle. It's pretty much Seattle. Anyway, Tacoma, Washington. It's spelled exactly like the Toyota Tacoma, Tacoma. And a lot of people in Tacoma, Washington drive Toyota Tacomas. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. There's a lot of Tacomas in Tacoma, Washington. There you go. couple days ago, someone commented, someone came into the stream and said, "What game is this?" That was pretty funny. I do read all your comments at night. I read them all just now on the break, but at night I definitely read all your comments. So they are definitely going to be read by me. And I will definitely respond as I remember, as I think it's time to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Like during the drive, I got to feel the vibe and things like that. At least a couple of people, it might have been the same guy that said that this was definitely AI, and I thought that was pretty funny too. And then there was like a small little argument about whether this was AI or not. Is it AI? Oh my. Oh, with the lifted Yukon. Thank you, Yukon. So that sound comes on when someone gets too close to me. Generally initiated by another vehicle. Sometimes I get too close to people, but it generally happens when another vehicle gets too close to me. In that same exact situation, like when they cut too close in front of me, or cut me off, as you might say. Less words. Less words is usually, no, not sometimes. Depending. Sometimes more is less, and sometimes less is more. VW Beetles in Mexico for a long time. Do they even make VW Beetles anymore? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. People slowing down and speeding up are the crux of my life. And that is exactly what this VW is doing. I should be way past them by now. And then I have to get over, and it's like, and then they're going to slow down again, and then it's going to go on and on and on. Probably until I die a slow, meaningless death. If someone stops on the right-hand side down there, don't do it, VW. I'm too close now. Don't do it. Okay. He has slowed down. He was going slow, and then he sped up. tobacco capital, maybe of the world, but definitely of the U.S. Most of the big tobacco companies farm their tobacco here. They developed, well, all their labs are here too. So they developed Zyn and things here in North Carolina, vapes and things like that. Vapes necessarily weren't developed here, but they're definitely worked on here now. Not saying tobacco or cigarettes or vaping or Zyn is good. I'm just some facts, just some history for you guys. I feel like things like that are fun to know if you don't know them, especially if you're not from the U.S. or from this region of the United States. Hopefully this stream blows up, guys. So I have some really cool, fun ideas. I'm not going to do them unless the stream does blow up, just because I'd have to reconfigure what I do, and I'm not going to explain it right now just because it's way too premature. But if the stream does blow up, I'm going to be doing some really cool stuff that will make the stream a lot more. I'm not saying it's not interesting now. I'm denigrating myself. I'm not saying it's not interesting right now. It'll just be a lot more travel oriented. Not that we're not traveling right now, but it's hard to explain. But I'm not going to change it unless this blows up. So let's see what happens. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. What about Bob? Who loves What About Bob? I love What About Bob. Now there is some police activity ahead. I'm not sure if we're going to see the aftermath saw a state trooper way, way, way up in the distance screaming after someone. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. If you're live stream, definitely subscribe so you get notified when I stream again. And it just helps me know that you guys like the stream, that I should and could continue on through the days, weeks, and months ahead. Regardless of what happens, I already feel better about my job, my current job, like what I'm doing every day while streaming. It just makes me feel happier and more at ease, more relaxed to know that you guys are with me watching the road, and it keeps me a lot more engaged, and it keeps me from dwelling on any sad thoughts I might have. I'm not saying I'm generally sad, it's more of that there's a lot of time to think when I'm on the road, regardless of how many I listen to or how many phone calls I take. So it definitely helps my mental health to stream like this, and I hope it helps your mental health to see these sites that you wouldn't see if you weren't watching the stream. I mean, this is some really cool stuff. I've watched stuff like this before. So the main reason I'm doing this is so that I can buy how I live in the future. I'll tell you guys who my favorite YouTubers are. My favorite YouTuber of all time died. Rich Piana, the bodybuilder. That was my favorite YouTuber. I just felt like, I mean, Rich wasn't a perfect human, but I just felt like he was really genuine, and his videos always made me happy. It was always fun to see him laugh and like just see him like just make fun of people and make fun of himself usually and mess with Chanel. And yeah, Rich Piano was my favorite YouTuber. He's the only YouTuber that, well, I don't think I know any other YouTubers that I follow that are dead. But I was like genuinely was sad when he died. So unexpectedly, I guess. Yeah, unexpectedly. I mean, it was a drug overdose, or a steroid overdose, or whatever. I don't think they actually told everyone what exactly happened, but I really, really liked Rich, and I had the chance to meet him one time, but I didn't for a couple of reasons, but that sucks. But he was my favorite YouTuber of all time, like easily my favorite YouTuber, and I don't really have any other like YouTubers that I would put in the favorite category. I like other YouTubers, but I wouldn't put them in like that. I wouldn't tell people they were my favorite YouTuber. Rich Piana is the only one that I would be like, wow, he was my favorite YouTuber. He just crushed it. He crushed it. He absolutely crushed it. I'll still put on his videos here and there. wondering, should I stop? Because I know there's parking here. I guess not already. Well, not past the exit yet, but about to be. So I know I'm going further, but the later in the night it is, the harder it is to get parking. And that is just because my truck is so big. So I had a truck stop planned, or it wasn't a truck stop. It was actually going to park behind the business tonight. But I had it on my phone. I only have one phone in this right now. I mean, everyone should only have one phone, right? But so if the stream blows up, then I need two phones for a lot of different reasons. It's like I want to do things with one phone to control what's going on in the stream, and like I can't do that if it's streaming, because like if you close out, then it doesn't stream anymore, etc. So yeah. You know what? I just have this feeling that it might be hard to find parking there. So I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. This was awesome. I feel like we had a really good day together. Do join in tomorrow. What time is it? It is 6, 7, 5, 6. So between 7 and 10 tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time, which would be between 3 and 6 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 and 3 a.m. in Alaska, and 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom. I will be streaming again. Hope you guys all enjoyed the stream. Please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more of something, just leave it in the comments. I will talk to you tomorrow. It's been great night, guys. Good night.